Welcome to Interview Reality. Imagine you have been having a recurring problem with a colleague at work, and it is starting to affect your confidence and your performance. Today, David has decided to speak to his manager, Emma, about it privately. Let's listen.
Hi, Emma. Do you have a few minutes? I'd like to speak with you privately if possible. It's a bit of a sensitive matter.
Of course, David. Come in and close the door. What's going on?
I want to be upfront about something before I start. I find this a little difficult to bring up because I don't want it to come across as complaining. I really don't. But I feel like I need to say something because it's been affecting my work.
I appreciate you coming to me. Whatever it is, I'd rather know. Take your time.
There's a situation with a colleague that's been going on for a while now. It's been affecting my ability to work comfortably, and I've tried to just ignore it, but it keeps happening.
Can you tell me more? Who are we talking about, and what kind of situation is it?
It's with Mark. I want to be clear, I know Mark is a valued member of the team, and I'm not here to cause problems for him. But over the past couple of months, he's been making comments about my work in front of the group. Comments that are dismissive, I think is the word. Like last week in the team meeting, I shared a project update, and he said, in front of everyone, well, that approach is a bit basic, isn't it? And he said it in a tone that made several people look at me.
I see. How did that make you feel?
Honestly, it was embarrassing. I felt undermined in front of my colleagues. And the thing is, it wasn't the first time. There have been a few situations over the past 2 months where his comments made me feel like my input wasn't respected or valued.
Can you give me one or two more specific examples? I want to make sure I fully understand the pattern before we discuss what to do.
Yes, about 3 weeks ago, I was presenting a client update to the group. Mark interrupted me mid-sentence to correct something that was actually not incorrect. It was just a different way of doing it than how he would have done it. He didn't wait until after, he just spoke over me in the middle of the presentation.
That's significant. Go on.
And another time, maybe a month ago, he forwarded one of my reports to the entire team with a note attached saying, "Let's discuss the gaps in this," without coming to me privately first, without giving me the chance to explain or respond before others saw it.
Okay, I understand why that would be frustrating and uncomfortable. Each of those examples would be difficult for anyone. How is this situation affecting your work day to day?
I've started second-guessing myself before I speak in meetings. I spend more time than I should reviewing my work, not because I think it's wrong, but because I'm worried about being criticized in front of everyone again. And I've actually been a bit anxious before team meetings lately, which is not like me at all.
That's important for me to hear, David, and I'm glad you told me. No one should feel that way at work. Let me ask, do you have any sense of whether Mark does this with other people on the team, or does it seem to be directed mainly at you?
That's something I've been asking myself as well. From what I've observed, he doesn't seem to do it to others in the same way. He can be direct with everyone, but the public criticism and the interrupting, I haven't seen him do that with anyone else at the same level, which is part of what makes it difficult. I don't want to assume anything, but it does feel personal sometimes.
I appreciate your honesty about that. It's important context. I want to be careful not to jump to conclusions, but it does help me understand the situation better. Let me ask you something else. Have you ever had a situation like this with a colleague before, in a previous job or even here? How did you handle it then?
Once, yes, early in my career. There was someone who would constantly talk over me in meetings. At the time, I didn't say anything. I just kind of withdrew. And looking back, that made things worse. It went on for months because no one knew it was happening. This time, I wanted to handle it differently. I wanted to say something before it got to that point.
That shows real growth, David. The fact that you recognized the pattern, reflected on it, and chose to come forward professionally, that's not easy. A lot of people either stay silent or react emotionally. You did neither.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just didn't want to make a mistake by either ignoring it again or by overreacting.
And you didn't. Now, have you spoken to Mark directly about how his comments are affecting you?
No, I wasn't sure how to approach that without it becoming confrontational, and I didn't want to make the situation worse by going to him if it wasn't necessary. That's part of why I came to you first.
I understand that, and your instinct to think it through before acting is good, but here's what I'd recommend as a first step. Before anything formal, I'd like you to try speaking to Mark directly, one-to-one, privately. Would you be comfortable with that?
I think so, but I genuinely don't know what to say without it sounding like an attack or making things awkward between us.
Here's a way you could approach it. Keep it simple and focused on how his behavior affects you, not on judging his intentions. You could say something like this: Mark, I wanted to speak with you privately about something. I've noticed that some of your comments about my work are made in front of the group, and it's been affecting my confidence. I'd really prefer it if we could talk about concerns directly and privately first. That's it. Clear, calm, and specific.
That's actually really helpful. It doesn't sound aggressive at all.
Exactly. You're not accusing him, you're telling him how his behavior affects you. Most of the time, people genuinely don't realize the impact of their words until someone tells them directly. He may not even be aware of how it's coming across.
I hadn't thought about it that way. You might be right.
And before you have that conversation, how are you feeling about it? Are you nervous?
Honestly, yes, a little. I'm not someone who enjoys confrontation, even when it's necessary. I think my concern is that it changes the dynamic between us permanently, that even if the conversation goes well, things might feel awkward afterward.
That's a very normal concern. But here's the thing. The dynamic is already uncomfortable for you. You're already anxious before meetings, already holding back. The conversation with Mark might feel difficult for a day or two, but avoiding it is costing you every single week. In most cases, a calm and respectful conversation actually improves things rather than making them worse.
That's a good way to look at it. I think I needed to hear that.
Now, if you have that conversation and the behavior continues, or if you feel that Mark doesn't respond well to it, I want you to come back to me immediately. At that point, we would need to move to a more formal process.
What would that look like?
It would involve a documented conversation with HR and, if necessary, a formal mediation session with both of you. But I'd rather give the informal route a genuine chance first before going there. Can we agree on 2 weeks? You try the direct conversation this week, and we check in after that?
Yes, 2 weeks sounds reasonable. And I feel a lot better knowing there's a formal process available if the informal route doesn't work.
Absolutely. And David, coming to me was the right thing to do. You thought it through, you came with specific examples, and you approached it professionally. That's exactly how these situations should be handled.
Thank you. That means a lot. I was honestly worried about how this conversation would go.
There was nothing to worry about. And for now, this conversation stays between us. I won't raise it with anyone else unless you and I agree that the situation requires it.
Thank you for that. One of my concerns was that it would turn into a bigger thing than necessary.
That's my preference too. Handle it quietly if we can, okay?
Okay. I'll speak to Mark this week, and I'll come back to you and let you know how it goes.
Good. And if you feel uncomfortable at any point, come to me right away. You don't have to wait 2 weeks.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Emma. I feel so much calmer now than when I walked in here.
Good. That's what I'm here for. Good luck with the conversation.
Thank you again. Have a good day.
You too, David. Take care.
Thanks for watching Interview Reality. I hope this conversation helped you understand how to talk about a difficult situation with a colleague in English, professionally, calmly, and without making things worse. If you found this useful, please subscribe to Interview Reality so you never miss a new conversation. See you in the next one.